Hello, my name is Debbie Buck, and I'm with the Public Information Office with the City of Saginaw. And I'm here today with Councilwoman Annie Boensch to talk about the good things that are happening in the City of Saginaw. Thank you, Councilwoman, for being with me today. I'd like to talk a little bit about you. Many of our citizens have not had an opportunity to meet you, and you're relatively new to the council. Would you like to share a little bit about yourself so that they could get to know you a little bit better?
Sure. Well, I am 30 years old. I'm a stay-at-home mother. I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree at Delta and then at SPSU in political science. I've been involved with the community for, since I was voting age probably, and I'm just happy to be on this current council.
And can you tell me what made you decide to be a council member, to run for council?
Well, I had looked for simple ways to get involved, different campaigns, different millages that I thought I could get behind and support and learn about and share information with, my fellow residents. And it just didn't seem like it was enough, honestly. I wanted to do something more and have more of an influence, and I think that right now in Saginaw we are at a unique place in our history because we have many good things in place despite some of our challenges. I love the city very much. I have deep roots here, and I feel a sense of obligation to be a part of this decision-making process that we're dealing with a lot of important issues right now, and I personally would like some control over the way things go in our city. I am raising a small family, a young family, and I hope to help shape this city into being one where my kids can call this place home and say that they live somewhere where they have deep roots as well.
I remember the first council meeting where you were sworn in, and after the meeting you came to me and you said, I would like to do a proclamation for our local businesses, for Buy Local. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes. We have so many local businesses, small, chain, local-owned businesses that are, creating destinations in areas that really need them, and providing, a whole host of options and entertainment and activities that are certainly worth mentioning and are things that should be highlighted and
Sure.
Talked about. And when we spend money locally, we keep money in our local economy. It doesn't go elsewhere. I think if every family, I think I read, spent $10 extra out of their weekly budget on Michigan products, we would keep over $3 million a week in our state's economy.
Wow.
And I can only imagine if we focused solely $10 out of our budget on the farmer's market, on a local meal instead of going to a chain restaurant. What kind of effect that would have on our local economy. And it's something that everybody can do. It's not something that you have to go out of your way to do. It's just something that anyone can do.
Now, I know that we have a lot of events and activities. What are some of the things you like to do with your children in the city of Saginaw?
Oh, well, I really enjoy taking the children to the library. I enjoy going to the parks that we have. We have Celebration Park, which opens, the Splash Park opens Memorial Day on 5/28 of this year, and that's something that my kids really enjoy doing. We have done a great deal of historical research on our own family and kind of, tracing our roots at the Hoyt Library, and that's something that I've been able to take my kids to go do and show them pictures and maps and different things of the city.
So they like that too.
They do enjoy those types of things, mainly because I force them into participating in these things. But we like our parks. We have lots of options as far as events and stuff like that. With the parades, so we take the kids to the parades. We walk in them. My children joined us at the Cinco de Mayo parade, which was something that was really wonderful for the city, and ended on Ojibwe Island, which also hosts lots of different events throughout the summer that are fun to take the family to.
Sure.
The Friday Night Live, there's nothing like the live music.
Downtown Saginaw.
Yep, in downtown Saginaw.
Annie, I know you spoke to me about the local eateries and destination dining in the city of Saginaw.
Yes, we have a diverse range of options when it comes to dining, from fine dining to just different ethnic options. We have authentic Mexican, we have Zorba's, which is an incredible Greek restaurant. We have the Savoy, which is a destination dining down in downtown Saginaw. We have a really good Italian restaurants in Old Town. We have a great Chinese restaurant down in Old Town. Lots of different options that people may not always be aware of that we have actually here in the city that you don't have to go to a chain restaurant for.
Sure, and don't forget desserts. I love the bakeries and the cupcakes.
Yes, we have gourmet bakeries. We have all sorts of, what is it, Jake's? They have a phenomenal dessert menu, and that's the fine dining aspect. We have a lot of good options down in Old Town, and we also have the downtown farmers market, which is the perfect stop for produce shopping. You can get your lunch right there. If you're one of the employees in the downtown area, it's just walking distance from pretty much everywhere down here. And you can head down there, grab some produce, and grab your lunch all in an hour, and be back to work.
Annie, can you tell us a little bit about what the City of Saginaw has to offer for arts, culture, and entertainment?
We have a wonderful Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. We have a wonderful choral society. We have the Children's Museum. We have the Art Museum. We also have the Saginaw Eddy Band. We have Pit and Balcony, which is a wonderful theater group, and I have personal friends who actually are performing here at one of the runs that are going on right now. We've got the Court Street Theater for movies here right in town. We've got the Temple Theater, which is just magnificent, and it hosts so many different events, so many different options for events there. We have the Dow Event Center. It's a great place to take the kids for the live on ice shows or any of the cool concerts that come into town. We also have the Saginaw Sting and the Saginaw Spirit if you're a sports fan and want to take the kids down there. We've got the Saginaw Old Golds baseball team, which is just one of the coolest things we have to watch a game where they reenact one of the old original games. And we have lots of special events that go on every summer in our public parks.
I know you're really concerned about historical preservation in the city of Saginaw. Can you tell me a little bit about this passion of yours and the different buildings and things that you're concerned about and involved in?
Sure. Well, I was raised in a house that was built in 1894, so I am partial to the historic, simply because it was what I was used to. I grew up with wood floors and original woodwork, and unfortunately my house that I grew up in no longer stands, and that is something that I hope we are able to address with the buildings that we can salvage and can preserve. Because it's very sad rolling through your old neighborhood and seeing a parking lot in where your home was, and so in that sense it's personal to me. While I was growing up as well, I had family members who were involved in the preservation of the historic Potter Street Depot, and that is something that we're still working on to this day to preserve that building. And these are things that I hope that my kids, when they grow up and decide to get involved in their community, that they've moved on to other issues, and I hope it's something that we can address and look at. But we have a lot left, and as far as our historic district, we have a beautiful city hall building. We have incredible homes. We have amazing citizens, many of whom are not actually natives to Saginaw, who have come here, started up small businesses in the in the Washington district, and have preserved older buildings and older businesses. One of my favorite places to go was actually a restaurant where my grandparents used to go on dates, and now I can take my granddaughter or my daughter in there and say, your great grandparents used to date when come in here, and we can go have lunch there. And it's very important to me that we have that history to pass on to our children. Look at the good things that are going on in Saginaw, and you look at the challenges that we have. You can look to our history and in those buildings and see that Saginaw has reinvented itself over and over again, and these things are cyclical, and that if we have that history to point to in another 50 years, it's going to be more evidence that Saginaw can continuously reinvent itself and continue to be a good place to raise families. And the house that my great-great-grandfather built still stands on Fayette, and the house that my great-grandfather built, was born in on Michigan Avenue, still stands. So It is personal. I have deep roots, and I think it should be personal for everybody because many of us have deep roots here. We just don't necessarily recognize how, the people we came from, how intertwined our families were with the shaping of this city. And when you recognize that, you recognize what kind of a responsibility you have. And it's not even a responsibility, not just a responsibility, but the fact that you do have some power as an individual to influence what the city looks like and what the history's, what history is going to say about us in this generation.
So you're asking them to get involved, just as you've gotten involved.
Absolutely. It's not something that you have to have any special skills or, you don't have to have something to offer to get involved. You can just be an average individual who wants to make a change and, do something positive. And there are so many ways where either just by participating in events, by buying locally, so many different ways you can contribute positively to the city. I mean, people don't necessarily recognize that instead of going out of town, for entertainment, find something here, and it's simple. I'm being entertained. How is that helping? Well, you're providing a business or an event with the participation that they need to come back and do it again and keep doing it. Sure. And it's something that everyone can do.
Well, there's a lot of good things happening in the city of Saginaw, and I'd like to thank Councilwoman Annie Boensch for being with us today and sharing many of them.
You're very welcome, Debbie. Feel free to contact me via email or through the City of Saginaw's Public Information Office.